We start with our Newsmaker segment and welcome another of the Republican candidates in the race for the U.S. House from the 3rd District of Kansas, essentially Johnson and Wyandotte counties. Adrienne Vallejo Foster is a former state and federal government official and served one term as mayor of Roland Park. She's a native of the district and the daughter of immigrants, legal immigrants, as she likes to note. Adrienne Vallejo Foster, welcome to Ruckus. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you having me on today.
Well, let me start with this. What is your catalyst for running for the 3rd District congressional seat? What makes you interested in this campaign?
Well, I'm very interested because our country is going in the wrong direction. First of all, Sharice Davids, our current representative, she does not reflect Kansas values of family, faith, and freedom. Those 3 values is what our country was founded on. And she votes with AOC 93% of the time. And AOC is not who the 3rd Congressional District represents.
You're running as a Republican, and you know, it's really difficult to know what someone believes because someone says he or she is a Republican. So can you be more specific? What are some of the positions you believe in as a Republican?
Well, first of all, I'm a conservative Republican. I'm pro-life. I'm pro-Second Amendment. I believe in less government in our lives. I believe that the federal government should have very little control over our education system. Local control is what we need. And I just think that they should not be in our lives as much.
We know there are Republicans who are not particularly fans of the president, of Donald Trump. They say he's not really a Republican, not really a conservative. Where are you on Donald Trump? Are you a Trump supporter, a never Trumper, a sometimes Trumper? How would you describe yourself?
Well, I support our president, unquestionably. Now, his style, his leadership style is not the style that I have. He's big into Twitter, and I'm just learning how to tweet. And my children get after me, my college kids get after me because I say twit instead of tweet. And so, you know, whatever it is, I don't know how to do it yet.
How about a quick critique of the person you'll be running against, assuming you get the nomination? You talked a little bit about Sharice Davids. Fill that out for us. What's your critique of her?
Well, I would say that Sharice had no experience coming in and being elected. As a former mayor and as a former city councilwoman, as a former executive director for the state of Kansas, and also an appointee in the Trump administration working on programs such as USMCA, working with our tariffs, finding out how our small businesses are affected by them, conveying that information back to Washington, D.C., and being a spokesperson for our small businesses. Sharice just started learning about our small businesses, and unfortunately, we have her today.
If you watch the news, listen to the news, read the news, you know there's a lot of talk about Republicans losing the suburbs. College-educated voters who live in the suburbs, especially women, are not voting for Republicans any longer. And we have a couple of recent elections that would suggest that's true. Do you find that to be the case? You're a suburban woman, you're well educated, you have a master's degree. Do you find educated suburbanites who hate Republicans?
You know, I think that oftentimes the suburban mothers and soccer moms haven't been directly spoken to. I think that they have oftentimes in the past, no one's really going and reaching out to them. And I've been able to sit down with them, talk with them. I'm a soccer mom. 4 out of my 5 boys played soccer. And talking with them to say, listen, I'm Republican. You may have not known that, but I represent values like you have, and we need you back in, and I need your support.
You think they are still persuadable?
Yes. With me, yes.
There are 2 other women running for the position without going into great detail because we're almost out of time. How would you distinguish between and among them? What's the difference?
Well, the difference between them and myself is I have the most experience. I'm the only one that's been elected to government. I've been appointed through the state and the federal government. I've worked with over 500 small businesses, listening to them, taking their issues back to Washington, D.C., and also at the state level.
Great to meet you. Thank you very much for coming in. Good luck in the campaign. Come back and see us.
Thank you so much, Mike.
That is Kansas 3rd District Congressional candidate Adrienne Vallejo Foster. Now let's meet the panel and start a ruckus.